Hey, Cody in the cinema here. I just got some good DVD thrift hauls for movies, and I wanted your opinion on some of these because I don't know a lot about this stuff I got, except for one film. And I had never heard of these contemporary film collections from South Korea. There are a number of them available on eBay, but this is a 2007, and I have had a very hard time finding this. It has an English translation of, I think, 4 films, and I think one or two of them maybe people have heard of, but I mean, this is like a really cool find. I got this for a few bucks. It has The Way Home, Traces of Love, Family Ties, and The Warrior with a really solid box here. So we've got some, I think that these films run from 2000 to 2006 or 7. But when you actually open this thing up, it's really cool. It has like art all over the place on it. And it gives you a little overview of each film. And I know, some of you like the Memories of Murder and you like Parasite like I do. And so maybe you'll check out more of this kind of cinema. But it gives you a little booklet of all of the, talks to you a little bit about the nonprofit organization and like each, well, maybe not each film, but there's a nice sturdy casing in here. Really, really nice casing. And I love this Warrior cover, contemporary film. It's just beautiful. And The Way Home almost looks like it has a kind of Yasujiro Ozu energy to it. And Traces of Love. I think this is the one I'd maybe heard of. And then on the bottom, just some real strong, sturdy packaging there. And if you collect enough physical media, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about, how you can get excited when you find something that's really of quality. Yeah, they are individual. No, they're not individual jackets. I keep having a hard time telling because it's so well put together. But I was really excited for this. And I'm glad I have it. This looks like a film collection I'm going to really enjoy. So if you've heard of this, let me know. But I don't know anything about this. I looked up, like I said, a couple of the films, and some of them, one or two of them were on Letterboxd, like with a lot of views, but the other two weren't. So we'll check that out. That was my most like obscure thing I found. But some of these others I just never see anywhere. Like, let me give you an example. I found this movie called Rise, which I haven't even taken out of the covering. One thing I like about my thrift store is they have plastic for some of their better stuff, and then it really preserves it. But this is called Rise, and this is an intimate, completely fresh portrayal of inner city youth who have created art and family where there was none. Tremendous spirit and creativity they used to rise above it, and this has a lot of good acclaim to it. I love the cover of that so much. A knockout visual miracle, Peter Trevor says from Rolling Stone, and I love dance and film. I often talk about musicals and different things that I like, so I'm hoping that this is really good. I have seen The Man from Laramie, but I have not found a copy. Every time I look for a Blu-ray of it, it's sold out. And I love New Mexico and Westerns so much that I'm kind of wanting to see this again. This is an Anthony Mann and James Stewart Western. And he's trying to find the man responsible for his brother's death. I remember watching this and thinking how much it reminded me of my road trips to New Mexico, which I even, I have a Carlsbad Caverns shirt on. Because I've done that a couple times where we drive from Virginia and Tennessee and we go to New Mexico. So this was filmed very visually striking in that way. If you're in the Criterion fans in here will probably recognize Anthony Mann from Winchester 73, which I've recommended a number of times on this channel. I got a slim copy of The Charge of the Light Brigade, and I feel like this has been on my list for a while. Olivia de Havilland and Errol Flynn. It is about British Lancers who challenge an army of 25,000 Russians. Okay? The film's highlight, the charge itself, which I guess is the Charge of the Light Brigade. A masterful, pulse-pounding 9 minutes of thundering hooves and flashing sabers. And it brought an assistant director Oscar for the sequence. So if you've never seen Errol Flynn, his acting is always interesting. The swashbucklers and so forth. But I did want to see that. Like her a lot as an actress. I have been told that despite despite what you could say about Woody Allen, I have been told Hannah and Her Sisters is a good film, and I don't, I don't know, so I just got the DVD that's been hanging around my shop for a while. But it does have quite the cast, right? Mia Farrow's in it. If you're unfamiliar with her, that's the Rosemary's Baby actress. Michael Caine, Barbara Hershey, Max von Sydow's in it. Carrie Fisher, the eldest daughter of showbiz parents, is a devoted wife, and her perfect world is sabotaged by sibling rivalry. Sounds like a good film. I'm watching this in spite of Woody Allen, not because of him. That's just me personally, but I'd really like, the cast looks so good in this one. And something I'd never heard of, I just found, and I love these actors. So this is called What a Way to Go. Now this looks almost like a Blu-ray boutique case. I'd like Shirley MacLaine, The Apartment, The Trouble with Harry, the Hitchcock film. What an actress. Paul Newman, right? He's been in everything from HUD to The Hustler. Loved both those pictures. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, right? Rob Mitchum, Night of the Hunter. He got Dean Martin, Gene Kelly, Bob Cummins, Dick Van Dyke. So Shirley MacLaine wants a man to love, who will live, it says. But try as she might to hang on to her husbands, she keeps meeting and marrying men with a desire to strike it rich and a habit of dying soon thereafter. This has to be good, right? Just look at the cast. I never heard of it, but those were, every so often I might maybe see The Man from Laramie, but this is stuff I just never find. And it's part of the reason why I like to go to these thrift stores, especially my local one. It feels like my local one, I swear there's somebody that goes in there every time there's an upgrade, either from DVD to Blu-ray or 4K, and just dumps off old films, because it will frequently kind of align with like those releases. So I like going in there. If I don't know something, like maybe I'll check it out in the DVD and kind of see how I feel about it. But I do think it's something you should be doing as a movie fan. If you're not, sometimes you'll run into a really good DVD that's pretty good quality, and you'll pay $1 or $2 for it, and you'll find a new great film, and then maybe you can upgrade later to a boutique. So something I like to do. If you like the video, you want to click the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, if you love this movie-related content. I do these thrift hauls sometimes. Often I'll talk about individual movies or groups of movies and recommendations. But anyway, see you next time. Cody in the Cinema.